Friends, it is time for our astrology update for the month of December 2023. So happy Sagittarius season, friends. We just left Scorpio season, which again, as a reminder, is the time each year where we're encouraged to look at what we need to let fall away to make space for newness. And then we step into Sagittarius season, which is the last fire sign of the zodiac. And so what we're doing during this time of the year is we're taking what we've learned in the spring and then in the fall. And now, as we're approaching winter, we're looking at all of what we've learned across the astrological year and looking at how can we expand upon those ideas. What is it that we want to continue building? How can we actually put the pedal to the metal a little bit there? And we're looking at larger thought processes. We're looking at the ideas and the themes of faith, of spirituality, of getting out into the world and really expanding our minds. Things like travel might be kind of coming into focus, the way other cultures appreciate and see things. All of the really big thought processes, the things like the big thoughts, the things that we expand upon, that we philosophize about, that we theorize about, that's Sagittarius season. So this is kind of what we're looking at as we walk through the month ahead. But some significant points to highlight would be that on December 1st, Mercury kind of moves into Capricorn for a preview of Capricorn season. So we're still in Sagittarius season right now. We will be until around the 21st of the month when we step into Capricorn season. But on the 1st, Mercury enters Capricorn, which gives us a preview of next month's energy and the kinds of ideas and thought creation and thought patterns that we might be having next month. On the 4th, Venus moves into Scorpio, and it's an interesting point here because Venus is leaving its home sign of Libra and entering Scorpio, which the two, like the planet of Venus sitting in the sign of Scorpio, does not really, generally speaking, have a whole lot of warm and fuzzy feelings associated with it. But Scorpio is also the sign of intimacy. And with Venus being the planet of relationships and self-worth and self-value, having and love and partnerships, money, all of those things kind of entering into Scorpio, I tend to look at it as a little bit more of an added boost to the intimate side of our lives. It doesn't always have to mean with a partner or a romantic partner. It can be, how are we being intimate with the people that are around us? Are we sitting down to have the deep conversations that aren't just surface level? Are we being more intimate with ourselves, looking at what we really do want in this world? And how do we actually get there? Are we actually spending time with ourselves and being kind to ourselves? Are we practicing self-care? All of these things are kind of indicative of Venus being in Scorpio. So around the 4th, be aware of some larger intimacy issues coming to the forefront. On the 6th, Neptune turns direct. It's been retrograde since June 30th. So just keep that in mind. Neptune is the planet that kind of brings our connection between this world and the next into sharper focus. So on the 6th, with Neptune turning direct, we could be feeling more connected to our intuition, into our view of the universe, into actually being a being inside of the universe. So Neptune turning direct on the 6th could bring some of this into sharper focus. Then we step into the second week of December, and we've got the 12th and the 13th. We have the new moon in Sagittarius. So this is where it's a perfect time to set intentions for the themes that we discussed at the start of the video. What is it that we want to set intentions for as far as our spirituality goes, as far as our faith goes? What do we really want to bring into this world that is closely tied to our own personal theories, our own personal philosophies, and how can we expand upon that? How can we broaden our horizons in those areas? On the 13th, Mercury turns retrograde. And so this is an interesting point because it will slowly make its way back through the sign of Capricorn, and it will enter Sagittarius again briefly as it makes its retrograde passage. So just know that around the mid-month marker, communication, things might start to go a little bit sideways. It's a time to kind of sit in reflection rather than taking action. It doesn't mean all doom and gloom. That seems to be a modernization of Mercury retrograde, but just be aware that around mid-month, communication and ideas might get crossed paths a little bit or crossed wires. Then during the third week of December, we have on the 21st, we step out of Sagittarius season into Capricorn season. We'll talk more about that next month. But here at the end of the month, be aware of a large push forward in your drive towards building and crafting and creating what it is that you want. Capricorn is all about getting down to business. So as the Christmas holiday approaches, if you celebrate that holiday, just be aware that there could be some new inspiration about how best to move forward. On the 23rd, Mercury does make its transit back into Sagittarius, as I said, with the retrograde. So yeah, big thoughts, big ideas, big communication, big conversations, big patterns, big theorizing, all of that kind of comes into focus, but this is not a time to act on it necessarily. This is more of a time to sit in that reflection because Mercury still will be in retrograde. Then for the fourth week of the month, we have on the 26th, the full moon in Cancer. This is such a juicy, beautiful full moon every year. It is the time to really prepare ourselves to let go of some of the emotions that we don't necessarily want to carry forward with us, some of those energetic bonds and ties that we don't want to carry into the new year with us. So, but it is this beautiful time to just really kind of wrap gently into the cocoon and let yourself kind of just be. Then on the 29th, we have Venus moving into Sagittarius. So it is all Sag all month long here during December of 2023. So take that with you through the month ahead. I hope you have a happy holiday season, regardless of which holiday it is that you celebrate or don't. The other kind of point to note is December 21st is the winter solstice. So, there's a lot of the winter solstice traditions that follow through or lead into a lot of the traditional holidays as we celebrate them. Things like the return of the light. This is what we're celebrating on winter solstice. Winter solstice is the shortest day of the year. And so what we're celebrating during that time is rejoicing in the return of the light. So that's why so much of our holiday traditions are involved or surround the light. We put lights on our homes, lights on our Christmas trees, lights, we light menorahs. There's all of this beauty around the idea of the return of the light, and that all happens around the 21st. So enjoy your winter solstice, enjoy your holiday season, and check back in come the new year. Have a good one.